Good week, good day. It's another hot topic. How's everybody doing? Those showing up, give me the wave, the hype, the thumbs up. Yeah. And hey, unless if you love it really hot, stay inside, right? It is going to be a hot one today. So without any delay, let's get rolling. It is June 18. Wow. Hopefully you're halfway to your goal already with closed business, but to help us get to that point where we want to be on the closed business, we bring Jay Bellinger back, who is our technology trainer. Jay's coming back at us with the Back at You Media. And today we're going to look at the landing pages. And of course, all of this is about getting leads. And we'll talk further in regard to that, but without anything else holding us back, Jay, it's all yours.
Thank you, sir. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good time and not melting. I am melting whenever I look outside even. It's stupid hot out there, but we're going to get into it today. I'm going to jump in by sharing my screen. And you're going to see here, we are looking at Social Bay. So today we're talking about landing pages. And I've had a lot of questions from people basically asking what landing pages are. So first of all, what we're talking about in Back at You is over here, landing pages. And what landing pages are, so if you think about a website is a bunch of different pages. You got your home page, you got your about page, you got your search page, whatever it may be, and they're all connected to each other. So someone is meant to go there and explore around and see different things. A landing page is similar, except it's only one page. There's no exploring to be done. There's no side pages to it. All right. It is a single web page, and it is created specifically for marketing to try and do something that you're trying to do, some sort of campaign. So it's where the visitor lands after they click. That's the term landing pages. I know it's very deep. Tech people, we're very smart. We like to make things crazy with the names. So that's what a landing page is. Basically, what we want to do is we want to get them to a place where there is a call to action, or what we call a CTA. And in these landing pages, you will see they have very specific calls to action. All right. So that being said, in Back at You, we have three options for landing pages. We have a home value landing page, which you will see here. These are ready to use home valuation pages. And then as you scroll down, you will see my custom home valuation pages. Now, I don't have any here. I'm in a agent's account, but there's none here. These are everything that is set up for you. Notice that the way they're set up, open kitchen, look at the picture, that's what it is. Okay, these are all virtually the same with a different picture. You can use any of these to start off right away. If you go to actions and go to view live page, share to social media, copy link, or create a copy. Okay, we'll get into create a copy in just a second. But if I view the live page, it's going to take me to see what it looks like when somebody clicks on it. This is a very simple page. How much is your home worth? Put your address here. Get my estimate. Okay. If I put my information in here and hit get my estimate, it's going to take me to the search page, and it's going to ask me for more information. So it's going to say, we want to send this information to you, but what do I need to send this information to you? I need your email. I need your name, possibly your phone number. So that being said, it's collecting potential leads for you that are looking for their home value. Okay. In this market now, I know a lot of us, especially those of us who bought their houses before 2018, are looking and saying, watching our neighbors sell their houses for a lot of money. And we're like, I wonder what my house is worth. Right. So this is an option. So home value, contact. This is very simple. There's just one. And so I go here, I'm going to hit that actions, go to view live page. And this is just a contact me. So you can see here that I have stolen Sally's identity, and I'm using Sally's identity here as her account. So that's why you see her picture. And it just has what's your name, what's your gives your email, and what are you looking for? Okay. All I'm trying to do is get them to a call to action. The call to action is give me your name, email, and some comments, and I will get back with you. All right. Now, again, I can create new. It's just like the same, ready to use up top, custom down low. And then the last, of course, is downloadable guides. There's a little bit of variation here with the ready to use downloadable guides. So you have seller guides with the same thing, modern living room. Notice the picture. It's a modern living room. And then you go down here and you're going to find the buyer's guide, living room, buyer's guide, bedroom. Okay. They're very simple. That's what they are. Other than that, these are all probably almost identical in what they look like. Get my seller guide. Here's my full name and here's my email. So, you know, when you put your phone number and email, it's going to say thanks. It's going to send you an email with this link, which is what you're viewing now. And this is, I did a seller guide, and this is the seller guide that they have for you. I suggest you go and look at these, and if you like them, they're great. You can move with them. If you have your own or you want to create your own, that's where the custom comes in, okay? So as I come back, and I'm here again, ready to use, downloadable, and then create my customs. So notice that for all three landing pages, they're exactly the same. They have the ready to use ones that they created for you, and then they have the custom downloadables that are available for you. So if I come here and I select create mine, I'm going to do this with the downloadable guide, and I'm just going to name this test. And we're going to give it a second to load, or a couple seconds to load. There we go. Now it's popped up. Here's what it looks like, and here's the things that I can change. So the background image, I can change the background image. If I don't want to use that, I can use one of these other images. These are just demo images, obviously, that I have on my computer. So I'll do that. You'll see it change over here in a second. The guide to selling your home. Okay. If you had a specific name for this, this would be where you change that. And we're just going to say brochure, just so you can see it change. And then you'll see it change up there. I can change this text. I can change get my seller guide. I can say now, because I'm very demanding. I'm a very demanding person, as Darwin knows. And then I can, if I want to, change the color. So I'm a fan of big, bright red buttons, or orangish red, because I'm a guy and we just go for the bold ones. So show display name and photo. You can see down here that it has the display name and photo. I can, if I don't want to, I can just take the picture out, show the name only, or I can show the photo only. One of the two, whatever I want to do. This reCAPTCHA. If you guys have ever tried to do anything online and it says, are you a robot? And it asks you some random questions, that used to be hard for us to read, and now AI can probably solve those quicker than we can. So it's kind of funny that this is still around, but this is basically what that is. We're going to, in my opinion, we're going to leave this off. It does leave you open to the chance of some bots being able to fill this out for you. However, I haven't seen very much of it happen, and all the ones that I've done, I've left off so far. Okay. So this is my new downloadable guide. And as I scroll down, phone number display, just so you know, it says do not display. If I do that, then it's going to be mandatory. If I display as optional, then we're just given an option. I think that that's probably the best option, in my opinion, because you want to, if you have a phone number, if they're willing to give it to you, that to me says they're willing to talk on the phone to me. And I'd much rather be able to talk to them on the phone. And then this downloadable guide. So this part's important. So you can view the guide here. This is just like what I just showed you. All right, this one's a little different. So, oh, maybe it's the same one. So it's popping up and it's showing me what the guide looks like. If I'm good with this, then I am good to go. And let me just move you guys here. See where you went. Okay. And now if I'm not, I can replace this. So this is asking me to drag and drop the files that I have. Okay. So for those of you on marketing, I don't want to cause a ton of work for marketing, so try and stagger yourselves. But if you want a downloadable guide that's custom branded to you, that's a good thing to speak to marketing about. It's going to take them some time to create, but you can put in there exactly what you want. You can also, if you're fancy with Canva or something greater, you can create your own guide. I'm going to select files and I'm going to steal. We happen to steal because I used to be in marketing. So we stole Karina's here. And it's going to upload and we'll see if it does it quick enough. And we'll just give it a second, see if it does that. But obviously you get the point. I'm choosing my own downloadable guide. So I'm customizing it. I'm not having a guide that someone else has. I can have whatever kind of content I want in here. So obviously it's going to seem, to me, it's going to seem more personalized to what I'm doing, to the customers or potential clients that are getting this. So I'm going to kill that just because it's going to take too long. And then what I would do is I would save that. Okay. Once I save that, I'll save it again. Sorry, Sally, if you happen to be on the call. Adding stuff to your Back At You account. And once it's done saving, I can close it. Let's see if it's not still working. There we go. I go back and notice that it's saved for me down in my custom downloadable guide pages. So now, what's the point of having these landing pages? What's really the thing? When you talk about posts on social media, I put them into 3 or 4 basic categories. For us, they're listings, they're landing pages, they're general posts. So this is kind of some of the stuff that Back At You is creating for you. That could be blog type posts, you know, getting ready to move, getting ready to sell, or they could be personal posts, which is you saying, you know, this is my meal. This is, I'm eating at such and such restaurant in this neighborhood that I like to tell people about. Those are the 4 types of posts. So with these landing pages, these and the listings are the only ones that have direct calls to action in order for you to collect information. You might get a message on a post that says, I really liked your post, I want to talk to you. However, that's a lot less likely than someone seeing a listing and actually clicking on it. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So again, when anyone acts on these, when they put that information in, it's going to automatically go into your leads section. So if we can get this to open, you will see here that there's no leads there. All right. I'm going to jump for a second. And I know I saw her on the call, but I'm going to jump for a second. Don't worry, I won't show your leads for too long, Joyce. But you can see here that some of us have a lot of leads already happening on social media. Okay. And this is what we're going to talk about in a second in the next part, which is a little bit of advertisement. But what I really want to focus on with the landing pages is you're trying to get people's name, number, email. You're trying to hopefully cultivate these people into actual sales, into transactions, whatever they may be. So this is a great way to do it. These landing pages are customizable. They're not so customizable, just like I just showed you, that it's going to leave you lost in the weeds trying to make it your own. But if you don't want to make it your own and you just simply want to use one of these, it's perfectly okay to do. And as you can see here, the view the live page and share to social media. That was very hard for me to say all those S's this morning. Share to social media. So I can also copy a link. Okay. And what can we use this for? So these landing pages in specific can be used for posts on social media. They can be used for, we can email them to someone. So maybe we have some people in our sphere that we haven't talked to in a minute, and we want to email them, not exactly sure what to email them. We can email them one of these pages, one of these links. Now I'll say, and I know Bob is with me. I don't know if he's on the call or not, but Bob knows we don't like to just send the link, right? We don't want to send some big crazy website link. We want to make it look pretty and do at least a hyperlink or link a picture. We don't have time to talk about that today, but if you have questions about that, about adding links to your email in a prettier way, definitely ask Bob or I, and we'll definitely be able to help you. And then for me, I think, why wouldn't you want to put these in your email signature? So a question like, how much is your home worth, to go out on every single email you send, or even a small picture that says, how much is your home worth? Click here. That is very easy to set up in your signature. And then everyone who's reading your email, regardless of what that email is, has the potential to click on that. And while you already have their email address, that gives you a little more information as to what they're actually trying to do. And if they're turning from, you know, a cold somebody who is just in your sphere who hasn't done anything to getting to something a little bit hotter, if that makes sense, and potentially moving forward. So within the landing pages, and just for a second, I have to get out of here. And this part is a little different. You're seeing some of the back end for what we have at the office at the corporate level. But the reason I'm doing this is I'm jumping into an office just very quickly for the managers on the call, because I just want to talk about this recruitment page. Because when you see this recruitment page, these events or about, either one, are just landing pages. That's all they are. So it works the same way. So you can use these to your benefit to recruit for your office. That's all I'm going to say about that. I just wanted to jump into that for a second. All right. So landing
Jay,
page.
would it be appropriate time to ask that question of, you showed all those leads.
Yep.
How did those come along?
That's a great question, Darwin. Thank you for leading me in that direction. So I jump back in here to Joyce. I'm now stealing Joyce's identity. Don't worry, Joyce. I won't spend any money or go shopping or anything. We're looking at her back at you. And I just want to basically show you, you know, we're not going to go too deeply into this, but just very quickly, we're going to go and we're going to look at her listings. And now I've taken some numbers down personally, and I was hoping to talk to Joyce a little bit this morning, but that's okay. We're gonna still talk later. But what I wanted to show you guys is these listings that she has. Technically, this is the same listing. I'm not sure why it's showing up in there the way it is. Maybe because it's part commercial. That's a question for a different day. That's just for me. But notice all of her notifications. So I don't want to click on it and mess with her notifications. But what's happening is, and I noticed right away when she started doing it, because she showed up on my basically top radar as the person with the most engagement in Back at You. And what's happening for Joyce is that she's running ads on these listings. She's ran 5 ads, and she has 132 leads from those 5 ads. Now, obviously, advertisements cost money, okay? Just so everybody is clear, a lot of people say ads. I want to do an ad on Facebook, and what they're actually talking about, they're talking about just making a post, okay? A post on Facebook costs you nothing. You just post it, and it is what it is, okay? An ad as an actual advertisement, think of it like a TV ad, all right? So you're going to have to pay money to run these ads. However, these ads get shown to people who are not your Facebook followers. So in the regular talks of algorithms, we talk about the 20%. So they're going to show it to 20% of the people who follow you, 20% of people who don't. And if those people interact with it, they'll decide if they're going to show it to more people. Ads are different in the sense that they don't have that requirement because you're paying. So you're paying to say, I want to show this to everybody within a certain mile radius of this area. Maybe it's of the listing. And then they are showing that to basically everybody who logs in who's in that area, as long as they have their settings set up. Unless they're, they don't want to see all that and they go through the process, because it is a process to get all that stuff off. Okay. But again, 5 different ads that she's ran at different times in the last 2 weeks. So June 4th was the first time that she ran an ad. So it's been exactly 2 weeks. And I just want to give her a lot of credit for trying that. I know that there are some other people running ads and everybody's budget is different. And if you don't have a listing, you might be saying, well, that's great, but I don't have a listing. So what can I possibly do? So it's the other thing we talked about today, which is landing pages. Okay. I think listings would be the top thing to run ads on. That's what's going to get you the most return. However, landing pages can also get you return on that. And if you don't have any listings and you're like, I don't really want to run the landing pages. If I were to come to my listings and then jump over to my company listings, I'm watching my time like a hawk this week, Darwin. I'm watching it. I'm ahead of schedule.
I was
Trying to
going to
leave
ask
time
you if you're on time here or not.
trying to leave time for questions. I'm ahead of time. One more thing to show. If the internet will work here, will be great. So company listings, once this pops up, just like with our websites, if I click on that and hit view live page from, I'm in Joyce's account, it's going to show my information as the contact person. Could I run an ad, pay some money to promote a really cool looking listing in an area that I like from one of our other agents? I don't know. Maybe some agents have problems with that. Darwin, what do you think? Is there
Yeah, I would say
issue?
probably if you're going to run one on a company listing. Michelle Geiger's got a great listing and I'd like to advertise it. I would probably check with her first just to make sure.
Yep.
And
Makes sense.
then, while you're still waiting for this, Joyce, I can see you're out there. Joyce is working out of that big office we have in Morris. So I want you to catch in on that because she's established all these leads, but then the next question was she probably spent the big bucks, right? So Joyce, could I ask, how much did you spend to generate these 132, and I'll do the quotes, leads, to get that to come up? How much would you have spent?
Well, I'm not real sure right now, but I think, oh boy, taxing my brain. It was either 35 or $75 for some of them. I'm not sure.
All right.
Maybe,
go ahead.
maybe Jay knows how much the leads are for the cost. But I have one question. Did you notice that it said Corunna City?
Yep.
And I asked back at you that question, why the city pops up, and they said it was from my MLS. Well, the MLS doesn't have Corunna City. It has, Corunna. So I think it's deceiving to have that on there. Here's
Yeah.
one, 1252 Ada Street, Owasso City. That's not the name of the city. So I'm really confused as to why that's picking up.
Okay. Yeah, again, that's coming from the MLS. We can look at it in a second. I'll actually jump right back into that. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to look at the numbers that you spent, but it's 5 ads. I think the average you're spending is maybe 75 to 100 per of those. And that's, again, it depends on your budget. So
Well, and if I could real quick, just to
Yeah.
throw that out now, I should make my voice really rough, but back in the day when I first started, listen, it was 1987 when I started, and if we were to run an ad in the newspaper, a simple in-column ad that was good for a day, and anybody who's been around the business for a while remembers newspaper, it was going to cost you $50 to $75 for an in-column ad that was good for one day. So if this sounds like a lot of money, Gang, it's nothing. And there's 132 inquiries, and we'll see if we can address that further. But yeah, the great,
Hey,
great
Jay?
thing as to what we can do.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Those, what she's referring to, she said $75. So these ads are for per day. So it's either, I think the lowest amount is like, what, $20 a day or something?
I believe it's 10 or 15. And the only reason I give you a double number is because I remember when we first did our training, they said 10. And then one of the ones that I went into, 15 was the smallest amount they could run. 15 a day.
And that's per day for the same ad.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, no,
I have a
no
question.
problem.
I have a question too. So
Mhm.
when Jay, when you and I had a one-on-one and we did an ad on my listing, it
Yep.
didn't have any photographs because it came over to back at you with no photographs. So could I have gone to the company listings, pulled up my own listing and advertised it with all the photographs?
Yeah, so actually let me show you that from here. So I'm
Okay.
using this other one. I'm using Lee, who's got this cool house right here. And notice that first of all, templates, okay? So I can choose the way it looks. And I like the way that one looks. And if I want, I can upload images. So if I have my own images that I want to add to this or replace what they have, then I can do that right there. Okay. And right now I'm just posting it, right? I'm just posting her ad. But I've talked to Lee and I said, hey, Lee, you got this cool listing. Do you mind if I spend money to tell people about your listing? What do we think she's gonna say? I think maybe, I mean, maybe she'll say no. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she'll probably
There
say,
will be an occasional agent that will say no, but most of us are going to say yes.
you're right, because why not? Right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit continue. And next thing it does is it says, do you want to advertise? Very simple. I'm going to go through and just for time, I'm not going to click through those, but it's going to ask me the zip code and it's going to ask me my budget, which is I want to spend, maybe this is my listing and it's a very pricey listing. And I say, you know what, I'm going to put $300 into doing this, or I'm going to put $500 into do this. I'm going to do $75 for the next, 5 days, whatever it may be. I want to get the word out there to as many people as possible. When you do that, it'll give you an idea of how many people you're going to reach when you get there. Okay. Basically meaning not when you get there, how much you spend based on what you do. And then if I can get this to open back up, and then I'll just open it back up for questions while I'm waiting for this. Again, when you talk about advertising, if you've done the $5 boost before on Facebook, realize that most people in marketing consider the $5 boost a waste of money. It's a generic throwaway. It's the lowest form, basically right above posts, but it's the most generic form of marketing that's available. And when you talk to most marketing people, you're going to find that they don't usually use the boost. We all have done it. I've done it. When it first started, I was like, yeah, let me advertise this and let me throw, $5 a day at it and see what happens. And I never gotten a response. But when it comes to actual advertising, if you look at the cost of, billboards, newspapers, online ads, whatever they may be, they're expensive. And even the expensive ones, if I said, hey, if you give me $1,000 and in 2 weeks, I'll give you 132 names that are real names. Let's say 100. Let's just be nice. Let's say 32 of those were fakes. I'm going to give you 100 names that are real leads that want to buy this listing. Would that be worth it? And that's a question for each of you to answer.
Yeah. And then, Jay and I were chatting before this. So what I want you to all remember, in this system, they're calling them leads. In reality, they're inquiries. People are saying, hey, I've seen enough of this and I'm willing to give you an email address, a phone number. It's an inquiry. And what you need to do is turn that inquiry into a lead. Here's what we know from studies, that real estate inquiries, these leads that come through, take 6 to 18 months to convert. Now that's where you've got to have the CRM, where you can drip on them and slowly turn up the temperature to where they're worth making sure that you talk to, that you follow up with, be it, is it weekly? Is it bi-weekly? What's their temperature? How often do you personally have to follow up with them? So hold that as you go along, and because don't waste those inquiries. That's where you're going to make the money. It just takes your fortitude to put things in place to be able to have those leads come through. So Jay, the first question that actually came up here was back when we first started. Can I use videos instead of pictures?
Yeah, 100%. And actually, thank you for bringing that up because that was on my notes and I did not get it. Did I share? There we go. Share my screen. Okay. And we're still stuck. All right. So within the listings, you will notice as long as you have enough pictures, I think the limit is 8 pictures that they have to have. They will create branded videos for you. And it looks like we're just stuck in limbo here with loading. Oh, there we go. Branded videos. So if I have this branded video, I get a much different view than just that one picture, static image. And if I don't like that music, which I can understand, if I click on the 3 dots and hit edit video, it will bring me to a screen where I can change the format of it. It'll give you an idea of what it looks like. Like this one personally. So I'm going to select that one. And then it also lets me choose the audio track. And they don't have very many, but there is some little bit more relaxed. A little bit more relaxed ones.
So I'm going to assume that we could upload our own videos, and even with a video of us talking or an audio of us talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's different. That's different than this because these branded videos they make for you and they're done. If you have if you are on the marketing department or if you pay somebody to help you with marketing and you ask them to create that video, as simple as it is, just some sliding pictures and some music, it's going to take a lot longer than, it would have taken me 30 seconds to get through the rest of that and basically get to the point where I can share it.
Can I do the same thing with the landing pages where it was looking for the photo, or is that a photo only?
That is a photo only.
Okay. Let's see. And it's not a one-time. I can go in there and change that anytime I want once I create my own.
Yep. Or you can change theirs. If you bring theirs up, those little 3 dots when it had the view live page and all those things, one of the options was create a copy. I can create a copy of theirs and then that goes to my custom section.
And obviously once it's done, then because we can do that, we can edit that at any time.
Correct.
Ads are going on to Facebook.
Yes, ads are Facebook and Instagram. Those are basically the same. Those are Meta. And they also have the option for web ads. So if you're shopping and the ads pop up on the side for you, that's what a web ad is. So having that option, you can either do it, I think they call it bundled is the word that they use. So you can either run social, web ads, or bundled, which means together. So basically when it comes to this, you're paying per click. Okay, you're paying per view of that. So the more people that can see it, obviously the better. But if I've been searching for lakefront homes and then I go into whatever shopping or whatever website I'm on that's pulling ads directly from Google, because Google knows all of my business, it's going to start showing me if you're running an ad for a lakefront home, it very possibly, and I'm in that area that you're running it to, it's going to show your listing right there next to whatever I'm shopping for, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So really we're talking Google in that sense. And at that point, it's really targeted marketing.
Very
Right?
true. Yep.
What do they call it? Predictive? Is that the word?
Yes, that's one of them. Yep. Predictive.
Right.
And then I see a couple questions. So the video, yes, up us uploading our own video and talking and then running an ad for that, we can definitely do that. We can get as creative as we want. If we want to do a video walking through a house, you know, if we're holding our camera with something like a, you know, stick, sorry, I got my background blurred, but, you know, something like a stick that holds our phone, and we're selfie stick and we're walking through the house and talking, and we make it look pretty, we can run an ad there. And then I see the question, which I've answered a lot in the last few weeks, is, you know, why am I still paying for the marketing department? So this is a great question. So the first thing is, this basically took everybody and gave them a step up from where they were. So for those of you who were on marketing, you were already getting a lot done for you. But when it comes to social media, the marketing is giving you 4 to 6, maybe 4 to 8, if you're on the top tier, posts per month that are custom created posts that they create for you and put out. So it's very similar in that fact. However, Back At You is going to continue to do their thing. If you're on marketing, they're going to continue to do their thing, and you're going to have both. So best of both worlds. On top of the fact, obviously, if you want to farm an area with a letter, Back At You can't help. There's nothing they can do with that, right? Marketing is going to create that for you, and it's part of their fees and what they do, along with just kind of any of your design needs. So there is still a need for marketing. What they do is it has a crossover of a little bit of the same stuff in social media, but it's just giving you more content, and content is king.
And
So-
they do things for you. Becomes the bottom line there too. Hey,
Correct.
it says, so the content for the month has to be paid for. Any advertising
Yep.
that you may choose to do, you would pay for. That's the simple answer.
So that
Um,
content that's listed every month on the calendar and the content page, I'm not paying for that. That's automatically going
Correct.
unless I change it, because it says advertise. So I just leave it alone.
Yeah,
Unless
so
I-
when you can do one of two things. You can auto advertise your listings, which means I get a listing, it's going to automatically give me an ad whenever that listing comes through from the MLS, and it's going to push that ad and it'll ask you all the questions, okay? And then you don't have to think about it when you get a listing. You can also auto advertise the entire company's listings, and if you have enough money to do that, then please put me on your Christmas list. So I haven't seen anybody who has that checked, and I don't really expect to, because that's obviously a ton of advertising. You're going to have hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars a day.
Yeah, and
And-
Deanna, if I try to, if you will, clarify a little bit further, Post is free, and it
Yep.
does all of that for us at no cost. But if you
And it's
want to
automatic,
advertise
Marvin?
that post, that's where you got to pay.
But is it automatic, that content that's showing up in my June right now and every day? It's like today's. Do I have to do anything with that, or is it automatic?
Nothing
Free
at all.
posting goes automatic.
And then if I want to change it and advertise on a listing or something like that, then I pay for it.
Well, not even change it. Just if you wanted to advertise one of those existing posts, you're paying for the additional exposure.
Okay.
That's where the term advertising comes in.
Okay, because I tried, and I know you guys are aware of this, but I tried to do company posts last week, and they sent out one listing, and they charged me twice. And it was only the one listing that went all 4 days, but maybe that was, you know, what I asked for. I don't know, but the leads were not, they were either wrong numbers, they were landlines, or they were so far out of their price range, they're like, oh my God, that's not even close to what I'm, you know, so I called Back At You and I asked them, how are these, if somebody clicks on it to look at the paint walls or something, that I'm getting a lead from that. And they said, yes, they're different from your listing ads. So,
Yeah, there will always be those when it comes to online advertising. Okay. You're gonna get me, who is looking at $4 million houses and sending them to my wife, and we're not in the price range to afford $4 million houses, right? But then you
Got
get the slightly crazier version of me that's like, let me go ahead and ask some questions to the agent about this, right? So you will have those will happen.
Okay.
You know, and that could be a question maybe for Joyce. I know we're over, but a question maybe for Joyce, and just say, you know, how have you found the leads that you've got? I know there's been, I'm sure, some weirdos, some crazy ones, some blank numbers, some things like that. But in general, how would you say it's been doing?
I've had a few incorrect emails. One person, the whole thing looked kind of strange, so I didn't respond to that at all. I've had two people respond back and say, stop. And I'm like, okay, well, you put your information in there.
Right.
I didn't say that to them. That's just what I was thinking. And I did not call anyone unless they had a comment, and most people did not have a comment. I just sent an email out advising them if they're interested further to contact me. And then I had an open house last night, so I put on the email, you know, the date of my open house. I have not received anything back, but this is a unique piece of property, and that's why I was so heavy into advertising, because it is a residential commercial, and I gotta find that one person who needs a new house and a new place for their business.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah, so
sense.
that's the difference in the company ads versus your listing ads. Is listing ads, you actually have to fill out a form, where the company ads, they're just clicking.
What do you mean company ads when you say company?
When
ads?
you do the company's
When you advertise a
company's
company
listing.
listing,
the company listings, and you're using those.
they
Uh,
would be the same thing.
Yep.
It's just
Back
a
at you
listing.
told me that they're different, that they ask you to fill out a form if you're interested. Where they give you your email and everything. They said the other ones, they're just clicking on the house and you automatically get the lead. That's what Back at you told me.
I think that's back the difference between a post and an advertisement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We can talk about that. You can tell me a little bit about what's going on in the charges to make sure. I'll just look at it for you and make sure
right.
everything's going on there.
Thanks, Jay.
Yep.
Jay, a couple other questions in there. Can the video be placed in the guides?
So I believe it's only PDFs or non-video documents for the uploads. So I don't think we can go, you know, a downloadable guide. But if you had in theory, I'm just spitballing, if you had a interactive PDF that had a video in it, then you could probably get away with it that way.
That would
If you
make
have
sense.
Zero idea what I'm saying, then marketing people will help you out.
There you go. I'm just going to say Sherry Kelger needs you.
Okay.
I would reach out to her directly. And then can the landing page lead them to a video?
No, their landing pages are directly going to their creation in order to collect that. So CTA, again, we're trying to get them to do an action, and that action on these landing pages for Back at You is email name or email phone number name.
With that, Jay, I think we've answered them all, but you want to give them a preview for next week?
Yeah, my brain just totally zapped and I was like, oh, you know what we're talking. I do know what we're talking about next week. It is creating your own content. So we have all this beautiful content from Back at You that they're posting for us without us doing anything. And next week, we're going to talk a little bit about customizing your own content and using Back at You in order to do that.
And that would include video, right?
That would include video.
There, I got the question answered before Michelle could ask it.
Cool.
All right. Well,
If anybody
gang, I
else
think
needs me, give me a call today. Give me a text or an email. And,
yeah, Jay's always out there and available. You can reach out to him. Everything's always in his any of the emails that he sent out. He's got the way to be able to catch him or set up that one-on-one time with him also. So, gang, we're going to call that good for another Hot Topic Tuesday next week. Jay's back at it again to take us further in, get more all about what's going on with the Social Bay of Back at You Media. So, have a fantastic one, and we will see y'all next week.
See you.
Bye, y'all.